The UAE now allows property brokerage firms to be 100% owned by foreign nationals. There was an article that came out just one day ago that's real important if you're thinking about setting up a business in Dubai. And this is more or less geared towards people who are thinking about setting up a business and not, working for someone else. And I'm going to go through some things that probably you have not heard, because these are some new things that I was wondering on the new changes they've got in setting up a business, and they're actually explained in this letter here. Now, also, if you're interested in legally getting your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport, as quick as 45 days, 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. All right, now, again, the UAE does allow property brokerage firms to be 100% owned by foreign nationals. This is a big thing because that was a real restricted business before, where you could not own that. You cannot own a business that was a real estate company or real estate brokerage company. It had to be owned by a local Emirati, and there was no fractional. They owned 100% of the real estate companies. Now, they've taken a big reversal on this, but I'm going to tell you there's still big things that are disadvantages that you need to be aware of before you set up a company in Dubai, which I'm going to go through with you. So these are some things here I want to highlight with you. First of all, I want to talk to you about the real estate market, because a lot of people have been wondering about the real estate market in Dubai. Then I'm going to get into the company formation and the best way to do this. Now, the real estate sector in the UAE, they stated in the article, and I'm not saying this, they stated in the article, it's on a comeback since the start of the year, with Dubai seeing property values starting to rise in select areas, but demand since March has been recording strong monthly gains. Don't buy this, okay? And I don't have time on this video. I've put out videos on how you can gauge if the bottom has hit yet in Dubai. It has not, okay? You need to look at that other video I did on that, dealing with propertyfinder.com, and it will explain to you how you can tell. It's very simple. You don't have to talk to a realtor. You can do it in 10 minutes, and you can see where the bottom is on the market. But I can tell you it's not. You go to Dubai, there are high rises all over the place. You can stand in Dubai Marina up on a 30-story building and look around and see maybe 16 to 30 buildings that are skeletons, okay? Those are going to have to get filled up. It is, if you're going to go there, rent. Do not buy right now. Okay, I would go at least 2 years out and make sure that bottom is finished, because I don't think they're there yet. Okay, they're going to have to fill up those buildings first. All right, so let's look at Dubai on the property issues a little bit more. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the setting up the company structure and the best way to actually go about doing this. All right, now property brokers will be able to have full ownership of their companies in the UAE from now on, as this business activity has been removed from the restricted list. Now, given real estate sector's dominant role in shaping the UAE's economic and business activity, the decision is rated as one of the path-breaking ones, according to the industry sources. And it is, because before you could not own, being an expat, you could not have any ownership of any sort of real estate brokerage firms. Now, in particular, this will have its maximum impact in Dubai's property market, especially at a time when buying and selling activity has been building up nicely. What the change means is that a property brokerage firm can be 100% owned by a foreign national through a UAE national is required to act as a local service agent. All right, now, and this was stated by Atik Munshi, a managing partner of the consultancy enterprise house UAE. Folks, don't let that fool you, okay? You still have to have a local service agent. He doesn't own 100% of your company, but I'm going to tell you something. There's a real problem in Dubai with local service agents inventing fees, okay, now that you didn't do. And I'm going to tell you something. If he comes up with fees that you didn't have, just pay them, okay? You're going to, and I'm going to tell you a way to get around this where you won't have to deal with this in a minute. And one of the ways to do it is by setting up a free zone company. Free zone companies, you don't have to have a local service agent. You also own 100% of the company, but you get around any sort of control by Emiratis that can wreck your business. And I had one that about destroyed me, okay? And I'm going to tell you something, they can, and I had a local service agent own 100% of the company. Doesn't mean anything. They can create havoc for you. This guy took him to labor court. This guy never showed up. And instead of going in and putting a lien on this guy and getting the money, they did absolutely nothing, just told me to come back again. I just gave him the money, okay? This is what I did. It's not worth it. Found out from loads of people there, you can't sue an Emirati and be successful, okay? And he won't show up. You would think it'd be a judgment. Doesn't work that way, okay? You won't win in the courts against an Emirati. So my suggestion to you is don't set up a local Dubai company with a local service agent. If you want to have problems absolved up front, don't deal with that. Set up a free zone company, and if you do that, you don't have a local service agent, and you can own 100% of the company, and it's going to solve all your problems there, folks. There are a few disadvantages with a free zone company, which I'll tell you right now while I'm at it. In a free zone company, technically, in most cases, not always, your license is a little bit higher, okay? You're supposed to have your office in the free zone where in other words, you can't just pick it anywhere in Dubai. It has to be in the free zone where you're at. Okay, now that could present a problem, and then it might not present a problem. And let me give you some problems that you might come up with. Number one is the government there says that all your contracts, if you have a free zone company, have to be signed in that free zone. Folks, nobody does it. Everybody I talk to signs contracts in Dubai. Now, I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm just telling you the government is not enforcing the law on free zone companies. I guess because they know that a lot of people will drop the free zone license, I guess. I don't know. But everybody I talk to goes in, they sign contracts in Dubai. My suggestion is talk to, and I've talked to lawyers there, they've told me the same thing too. The government's not enforcing that. My suggestion is get with a good lawyer. Don't listen to me. Get with a good lawyer in Dubai and check before you go in and set up a free zone. See if they're still exercising that law. Now, it might not affect you if people are coming to your office, but some people might not want to go all the way across town to sign a contract in a free zone, okay? So that flexibility of you getting up and going to his office and signing the contract, that's the advantage of being and having a Dubai company, because you can go anywhere. But then you're going to have to put up with the headaches of a local service agent that can create havoc on your business. And like I said, you can sign off, to switch local service agents without the local service agent having anything to do with, the switch, because he doesn't own any of your company now with the new laws. The problem is he can invent fees that you never incurred, that you never hired him for, okay? And I'm going to tell you something, the government will not let up until you pay him those fees. And it could be $50, it could be 200,000 US dollars, okay? This is the type of problem you're going to run into. If you want to avoid this, don't deal with local service agents and try not to deal with local Emiratis. Because if you get in a lawsuit with them, you won't win. And don't take it from me. Talk to other people who've been in lawsuits with them. I experienced one down there myself, took a case against the guy, got nowhere. You will not be able to sue and win in the Dubai courts against the Emirati. Stay away from dealing with them. If you're going to go there, and I would start off doing this, if you go to Dubai, rent, don't buy, at least for a couple of years. Number two is set up a free zone company. And good areas that you can do. Most of the good free zone areas that are near the high populated areas in Dubai, because they do have free zone, do have free zone areas in Dubai, is Dubai Marina. That's a very popular place, but the ones that are the most popular are also going to have the highest licensing fees, okay? The ones that are in Fujairah, they're way out. Ras Al Khaimah, these are going to be ones that are going to be cheaper, okay? Because obviously, there are disadvantages. People are going to have to go across the country to sign a contract in that office, okay? Unless you break the law and go into Dubai, which a lot of people are doing. But I'm just telling you, get with a lawyer. If the lawyer says don't do it, don't do it, okay? And I'm just telling you, the laws there, they've got laws in the books that they're not exercising, okay? But that being said, you need to get with a good lawyer and find out, because they could have by now dropped that. I have not heard that, okay? But that is a big disadvantage if you're dealing with a free zone company. Other than that, I would put a free zone company way above dealing with a Dubai company because of the headaches. Now, if they will end the local service agent requirement, no, I would stick with a Dubai company by far. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they would have the local Emiratis would go nuts. They would no telling what they would do, because this is, I call it booty money. Okay, it's kind of like you can call it dirt money, because these guys do absolutely nothing for your business. You have to sign to basically just to sign off to say, hey, you can now come in and work in my company, my country. Okay, and basically what you're doing is he's charging you a fee. And that fee's negotiated. It's up between you and him. But a lot of them don't want to give in, so it's very difficult to get a pretty good rate. Now, mine was a very, very good rate. I was able to shop around and get a good rate, but some people pay $100,000 a year. Some people pay $12,000 a year. Some people pay $6,000 a year. But it's basically paying for dirt, because he will do nothing for your business, okay? You will not have that with a free zone company, okay? So these are some things that you have to look at. Now, in Dubai, while registration with RERA, which is the Real Estate Regulatory Agency, is required, taking the RERA sponsored examination is not compulsory for the business owner. This is looking at, if you're looking at getting a broker's license there now to sell real estate. Now, the UAE has also brought changes to its investor visa requirements on property assets, whereby an owner of a 750,000 dirham property can get a 3-year visa. Earlier, this requirement was 1 million US. Well, you just take that figure that I just gave you and divide it by 3.653, and you get the US figure, roughly about 200,000, 250,000 right in there now to get that visa. So these are some things, folks, that you're going to have to look at. All right, now let's look at opening up to full ownership. It was recently that the UAE at the federal level and individual emirates announced the number of business activities that could have foreign nationals own 100% shareholding in their enterprise and not have a UAE national partner to hold a majority stake. But property brokerage services remain in the restricted category. That has changed now. Now, according to Jonathan Davidson, founding partner at the DIFC-based law firm Davidson & Company, as when this amendment is enacted, there is likely to be a lot of those brokers seeking to change the historical ownership of the company now from the UAE national to own it, to where the expats own it 100%. But I'm going to tell you something, folks. There's going to be a lot of headaches from this. I can't see a lot of these guys giving in. I see companies literally going possibly out of business because that's the only way you can do it. If he doesn't sign off, okay, there's no way you can switch the company over. There's no way you can, and you won't win in the courts. What will happen is you will have to drop the company and then change to a new company with a different name, okay? You can't use the same name, okay? And there is a possibility you could use the same name in the free zone, but it will not release you from the responsibilities that you're going to have with this guy. So this is the problem that you're going to have. But now, according to this law firm, this amendment, when it's enacted, there's going to be likely a lot of brokers seeking to change their historical ownership structure. It's noteworthy to know that this is going to require the full agreement and sign-off of everyone involved, whether they have been running the company or acting as a de facto nominee. Well, a lot of these guys, if they know that the money's not going to be coming in anymore. Now, obviously, these guys are probably going to suck up to these sponsors, and they're going to say, look, if you'll switch me over, I'll sign you up as the local service agent. But this guy could demand a booty money to do this, because he knows if you got a real successful business, man, you're on a thread with this guy. I mean, he's got the say-so to dump your company and wreck it overnight, okay? This is the problem that you have in having these types, okay? When you sign these partnerships, they don't get, and most people sign it where they don't get a percentage of your business. It's a flat fee amount. But the problem is if you don't do what this guy says, okay, your business is hanging on a limb. So there's likely to be a lot of interesting conversations it talks about in this article in the real estate world in the coming months, especially with the recent meteoric rise in house prices in some parts of Dubai. And I disagree with them on, I don't think you're going to see that. I think the prices are still falling. But they're talking about the opportunity being so good that, it's going to be a real problem, because if this sponsor doesn't want to sign off for you to have your own company now, you got a royal nightmare that you will not win. It will wreck your company, okay? Now, some of the activities not mentioned in the restricted list may be 100% foreign owned, though they may require approval from ministries. Activities like audit, legal, healthcare, education, engineering, consultancy, etc., they're termed as restricted business activities. All right, let's look at tight oversight. Now, the Dubai Land Department, which is called RERA, provide the oversight of all brokerage firms in the UAE, requiring that strict standards of transparency are maintained. The brokers also need to adhere to certain minimum qualifications if they are to practice in Dubai. Now, there are well over 2,000 real estate brokerage companies in Dubai, all of which currently have a local or Emirati ownership structure due to existing legislation, said Davison. A lot of these brokerages are run by expat stake owners. They're run by, but they're not owned. Okay, this is the key factor here. These companies are going to have nightmares. Okay, it's just going to be a problem. Let me tell you my opinion on this, folks. Dubai is good, and it has no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. I've got other tapes on this. You need to look at that. The problem with Dubai is if you're looking to have a business where you got like an internet business where your business comes from any place in the world, and you don't have walk-in business to your office, it's a very expensive and time-consuming and a troublesome way to do your business. Don't do it that way. You can go to Panama, St. Kitts, Guatemala for a fraction of the cost that Dubai is going to charge, and still not pay income taxes. Okay? No capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax if your business is done outside the country. The only thing Dubai does is helpful is if you want, Dubai's got, the UAE has a population of 10 million people, roughly, okay? So if you want a high populated area that this walk-in business, this not internet business that you can get through the internet, Dubai, that's the big advantage to that, okay? If you got an internet business, don't go that route. Okay, don't go that route. You're going to pay high licensing fees, high visa fees. You're going to have to deal with local service agent fees. You're going to be restricted with free zones. You got all kinds of issues you would not have otherwise, and still get your taxes to zero. Zero taxes does not mean zero fees and zero headaches. Okay, you can avoid all of that by just going in other countries, and we can help you with that. If you got questions or comments, just put them below. Be glad to get with you on that. Also, if you've got, you want new videos coming out on the subjects like this, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here. You'll get new videos as they come out automatically, and I would, hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button also. And go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We'll get back with you. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment and residency by investment countries all over the world. And I'll look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.